guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do a quick blind reaction to the View's take on Harry and Meghan being told to exit Frogmore to get their stuff and ship it back to California. And I'm interested to see, are they going to say it's racist? Are they going to say, you know, the couple are oppressed, or, you know what? Or maybe they'll surprise me. So stay tuned. And this is like a full blind reaction. I haven't even watched it for 1 second. So this is going to be my genuine response. This is my prediction. They're going to say that the couple are oppressed. But I think Joy is kind of a bit sick of them now. So she might surprise me.
So, more juicy dish on the royal family, for those of you who can't get enough, like Sonny. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have been kicked out of their UK president's Frogmore cottage, which, by the way, there's a picture of it. It's not a cottage, okay? It's a mansion. But to them, it's a cottage compared to Buckingham Palace. And it was their main residence before they gave up all royal duties and moved to California. Harry's father, King Charles, reportedly started the eviction process the day after the publication of Harry's explosive memoir, Spare, which contains some unflattering passages about the king's wife, Camilla. Now, is that a little petty for a king to just throw his own kid out because he said a couple of things that, you know, he pleaded with their father not to marry Camilla, for instance? Okay, so what?
Well, he said a few...
Do they really think it's just about what he said about Camilla? The whole family weren't spared. So, yeah, it's not just about Camilla. It's, anyway, let's see what they say.
Other things, but I didn't detect any lies in what he was saying. He said, he alleged that Camilla had a calculated agenda to remedy her public image as the other woman, one that paved the way for her marriage and eventual queen title. It's now queen, not queen consort. Also, it was that Lady Susan Hussey resigned and apologized for her unacceptable and deeply regrettable racial comments that she made.
Her name was Lady Hussey?
Lady Susan Hussey. And she was the person that Camilla and the Queen and everyone assigned to protect Meghan Markle. And then he also called her dangerous because of the connections she still...
Okay, first of all, Harry himself said that Lady Susan Hussey is not a racist. He himself said that. So don't imply that there's any truth to the silly rhetoric that was put out there just because she asked someone where they were from. What's her name? Marlene, did she not go to the palace and sit down with Lady Susan and talk and settle everything? So why is this still being pushed? There's no evidence whatsoever that Lady Susan Hussey is a racist, other than her asking somebody where they are from. Somebody wearing neck bones. She had neck bones on. She's got a Nigerian name, culturally appropriating Nigerian culture, going to the palace wearing African attire. I mean, I don't know where that outfit came from, what part of Africa that outfit's supposed to be from. I do not know, but she had neck bones on. So, of course, Lady Susan Hussey is going to be like, where are you from? That's it. And that's what they're using to now say that poor Meghan was put into the hands of a racist. And if anything, that story actually contradicts what Meghan herself has claimed, saying that she was given no guidance as a royal, saying that she wasn't even taught how to curtsy, didn't learn the national anthem, or wasn't taught the national anthem. Like, she can't Google it. And she claimed that she was given no guidance, no help. But the Queen put her in the care of someone who was very close to her. She put her in the care of the best of the best when it comes to offering guidance to somebody entering the royal family. But of course, they're not going to see that. They're just going to have that notion that, oh, poor Meghan was put in the hands of a racist, even though Harry himself has debunked that. So get that right. And second of all, oh, we're supposed to just believe Harry just because he put it in his book. Like, the book isn't filled with lies. Like, he's not a known liar. A lot of the stuff he's come out with, these are like detectable lies that you can research yourself and can come to no other conclusion that he's a liar. So I'm not just because it's in the book, it doesn't mean it's true. We know this.
She still has with members of the media and her willingness to trade information. No lies detected. And I don't think that...
Actually, many lies detected in that book. If you can think logically, if you can think objectively, there are many lies detected in that book. And again, Harry himself has now come out and said things that have contradicted the very claims that he made, such as the racism claim. So, yeah, that just because you say no lies detected doesn't make it true. I can't stand this show. I don't know why I'm subjecting myself to this.
Any child of... this was the best part. He describes his stepmother as the villain and the third person in the marriage, which is how his mother describes
That's right.
her. So in my view, no child of divorce really loves the divorce, because I'm a child of divorce. I'm certainly not going to like the woman that was in between my parents' marriage talking dirty on the phone.
She's a wonderful woman, and she's made our father very, very happy, which is the most important thing. William and I love her to bits, get on really well with her. And as far as I see it, nothing's changed.
Yeah. I'm not going to like that. He didn't like it. He didn't lie. I say let them keep their little Frogmore cottage. Harry and Meghan, they have $135 million worth of projects. They threw a little $2 million to fix it up and let Prince Andrew live at Frogmore.
Yeah, but maybe they want to go back to, the UK sometime.
They got enough money to buy their own
That's not
cottage
going to be
now.
a short-term thing.
Well, yeah, I actually agree with that. They can buy their own property in the UK. What's the big deal? Apparently, they've got 135 million worth of projects. Okay, I don't know who's doing the maths, but the maths ain't mathing, as my American friends say.
Short-term thing. Listen, they've got a great big mansion in Montecito. They're like neighbors of Oprah Winfrey. Listen, I'm the only person on this panel who's actually a stepmother. And it is a complicated issue. My husband has grown children, and they have spouses. To me, it saddens me to see this family drama playing out. And it makes me very sad because Harry has only one brother, and he's now basically lost that brother. He only has one parent left, and he's now basically lost that parent. Mm-hmm. And so to me, this is very sad. I hope that in the long term, they figure it out, because once they're gone, I think there's going to be a lot of regret.
We don't get to choose our...
Yeah, I have to agree with that. But Harry brought it on himself. This is all Harry's doing, he and his wife. So it's a shame. I mean, look at the way his wife treats her one father. So they're both the same. And yeah, it's going to be a rude awakening when that person isn't there anymore. But this is what they're deciding to do. And the book is not factual. The book is the book is fantasy. And nobody with any sense is taking that book seriously. Oh, a step kid not liking their step parent, that's nothing new.
Our families, though, we don't get to choose them. And, I'm
It's
an
just
only
very,
child.
It feels very
I feel fine.
petty and cringy.
You feel fine about what?
Wait, one conversation, please.
Let's have a few. Yeah. I feel like it is petty and cringy of King Charles, but I just finished reading Spare, and...
No, it's not. They don't live there. How is that petty and cringy? They don't live in that property. It's just there rotting. A whole, like they said, mansion. It's not like a little cottage. It's just there empty, and it has to be maintained. The property has to be maintained. With no one living in it, they just expect the royals to pick up the tab and, of maintaining that property. Why should they? This is just practical. They don't live there. Why renew the lease? And that's all it is. There's no reason to renew the lease. They don't come back every 3 months to the UK. They barely come back. So, and, we all know they've got so many places they could live in. Or if it was that serious, they could buy their own property, not something that doesn't belong to them.
As somebody who's been open and probably more open than I should, that I have estrangements in my family, you can't just do, 300 pages of everything that was wrong, you were wronged by your family, and then expect to, I guess you can, but then expect to peacefully live on the family property.
As long as no lies are detected, it is fine.
It's like...
Maybe he doesn't want to live there.
But then why is he mad about being evicted?
Nothing that I read said.
Okay. Well, then maybe this is a...
He's got his mouthpiece to write a whole article calling it cruel, calling it a punishment, saying that it's putting their security at risk now. He got his mouthpiece to do that article, just like they write their propaganda pieces all the time. And this show knows all about propaganda.
peaceful eviction.
When you read it, I didn't read it. Did you find anything positive about them in there?
No, and I really want...
Exactly. There was nothing positive in the book. You're a prince. How about some inspiration? Nothing. I'm not even going to call it spare anymore. Wah is the only name for it, because that's literally what it was. Just a pity fest. Absolutely reading the words of a crybaby. That's all the book was. It's not like it's some memoirs that, people read for decades to come, like Nelson Mandela's memoirs. Nothing like that. It's just a kid, an overgrown kid, complaining about not getting the biggest bedroom in the castle.
To like Harry, I love his charitable stuff, but it felt like this is a lot of stuff that should be worked out in therapy, not in the public eye.
Well, I don't think the motivations for what happening are absent of all the emotions, but when you decide to tell your story, there can be consequences. And I think in families, especially a royal family, who their full-time job is to hide what is real behind all of it on facade and pretty clothes, they're not going to want to hear you ever talk, and they haven't stopped talking. So I think, I think it's petty. I don't think it's great, but they left. Let them keep their dumb.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, listen, King Charles chose his wife, and
dumb cottage that they were given in good faith as working royals, that taxpayers paid £2.4 million to renovate for them. So you can dismiss it and say it's not petty. They don't live there. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Why should they be given a property to be left empty just in case they want to use it when they come back? And it wouldn't surprise me if they actually prefer to be in a fancy hotel than staying at Frogmore.
And Harry chose his wife over his father.
Yeah, that's right.
And
you know who else they chose to live in Frogmore? Prince Andrew's coming, right?
Oh, God.
So they're just as corrupt as anybody else.
Well, if Andrew's living in that what would they think about Andrew being in a 30-bedroom mansion, 98 acres? What would they think about that? So, yeah, they're downgrading him. Better he lives there than it be empty.